What's up, guys? Rebuilding my castle again for level 30 here. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. I discovered a few things that I can do with this room here. So this is probably my most anticipated room, is this one right here. Um, and then we're gonna do something with like a standard spike tunnel here with a few unorthodox groups. Pretty much throughout my entire castle, I'm gonna be using like non-elites, just kind of. I'll use a few elites most likely, but we'll see what actually comes of this. I tested out this room a little bit and just placed in the trap generators. I have a few traps still sitting around where I had them before, but for the most part, I'm just going to go through and build this from scratch. So this is the corner bridge room. People use this pretty often. Usually they have a smaller room here where they can put in a peat pond moor or something. Is usually the way that goes. And this room, I'm not sure exactly the name. Let me take a look and see if I can find it really quick. It's got like narrow passage and one room off to the left. I think it's far down on the list. Let's see. It's not that one. That one. This one right here. Linear Chamber 4. Yep, that's the room. All right. So it's this one right here. Linear Chamber 4. This is across all 6, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to add on another room or not. Right now I have 5 out of 6. So if I have to add on one more room just to use more points, I will. I'll probably leave my boss room for the most part empty. I want to try out a non-all in the boss room strategy. Those types of strategies work decently well, almost regardless. Like if you put a good amount of webmasters and stuff in the boss room, it'll work out. But I want to try something different. Obviously, the spike tunnel will be somewhat similar to what you see, but anyway, let's just jump into it. So we're gonna start off with a spike trap here, spike trap on the other side. No, not a spike trap on the other side. I'm trying to remember exactly what I did here because it's been a little while since I actually tested all this out. I tested it out last night really quickly just to throw it together. I had a couple ballistas here. And then I know I have had some springboards. I think all of them were throwing forward because I want to make it difficult to kite. So let's see if I can grab that. That should work. There we go. Alright. And I'll mess around with those ballistas a little bit. Kind of tweak them to what I want in a little bit here. I know I had a spike trap here. What I'm unsure of is what I had here. I mean, I could have had mouse wheel traps, but I don't think I did. I might have just had... Oh yeah, I remember now. I had a silence right here. And then I had 2 corrosive mines right there and there, and that used up that, and then I had 10 more points to work with here. Let's see. And I had a ballista somewhere in this general area. I'm trying to think exactly how I want to do this though. I think it can go in the center, like right in there, and then probably one here, maybe one on this side as well. Only because I want some trap pressure in this corner, even though it's not that big of a deal. I might remove this, I'm not sure. Actually, let's just go through it really quickly. I'm going to do a lot of testing in this one because I want to try to make a castle that's at least somewhat successful when I first create it. And I didn't do a bunch of testing last time because I was just trying to build something kind of quickly. This one I don't mind taking a little bit more time on. So right there, you can see the springboard trap will throw you into that corrosive mine, which is what I want because I'm going to have a group in here. Not a huge group, but at least something. Alright, so this corner doesn't have any trap pressure. The rest of this room seems to be pretty good. Let's see, this corner. Alright. And then as I'm crossing this, that's fairly annoying, but that's all that's going to be useful for, is that little bit of annoyance when you're crossing the spike trap. I'm not sure if that's good enough or not. I don't have enough points to do anything else. Well, I know that this one can come over like 2 hexes. I could even move this up, but this, like right here, no, that's not as good, I don't think. So that should cover that corner now. And then this one, maybe down 1 hex right there. And then if I wanted to, I could bring this one over in this area as well. I'll leave it as is for right now, but I might be looking to do that fairly soon. I might actually need another trap generator in here because I'm having springboard traps in this area as well. I could do mouse wheel traps also, would be about the same. I don't like using mouse wheel traps in areas that a lot of it hangs over the side because it's easier to go through and not take any damage. But I mean, 2 mouse wheel traps versus like 1, 2, 3 springboard traps, that saves me 3 points using the mouse wheels. I know I wanted a spike trap on the opposite side here, and that's why I have these positioned here. So if I have this set up like this, I can't afford these in terms of just having my trap generator power them. But the problem is if I use mouse wheel traps, I can't have the spike trap here, so I'm not going to be using mouse wheel traps. I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to afford these. I'm trying to think here. I think I want this first one to be rotated backwards, so you hit the wall and get spike trapped there. I could put in another trap generator. It's not like the worst idea. Just put it up here and then power some of these things and have this power like that. And then I have an extra where I could put in another ballista over here just to add in a lot more pressure. The problem is if you put too much in this room, it's going to cause people to want to kite backwards. So I have to think about that as well. Like I don't want this to be my biggest kill room. I don't want this to be super high point cost. I'll leave it for now just to see if I run out of points, I might remove this 3-point trap here, and maybe even like this one over here if I really need the points. All right, so creatures in here. Like I said, I'm going to be using some lower point creatures. How exactly I want to pull it is really what I'm going for in this castle is really how to pull these creatures and make them be as effective as possible. I think something that's been lost on a lot of people is using low point creatures like snotters and derps and chickens to pull a group for you. I think that's something that people haven't been doing all that much, and you'll see it a little bit later on that I'm going to try something different and see how it works out. So like I can put a snotter here, and as they're being thrown forward, he's going to see this, and I could aggro a group like back over in this corner over here. That's a little bit more out of the way and doesn't have to worry about getting volleyed or anything like that. That's the only problem with this, is that if someone wants to take a tick or 2 of spike trap damage, they'll take spike trap damage in at least 2 ballista shots. Which is why I have a lot of ballistas around this spike trap, is because if you stand on this and you volley over it, you can pull a group that's inside of this room. So you want to be able to make them at least take a decent amount of damage for that. So I could use this, or I can just use the group itself. It really doesn't matter for this specific pull because you're gonna aggro the group without being able to really see it, regardless. All right, so let's see. I could put in this corner, in each corner here, a smelly warrior. I really like smelly warriors quite a bit. My question here will be is if this hush machine, the silence thing, will screw up the AI, because this has the same effect as rotating flame traps in that if they're too close to the silence, they'll try to run away and it'll screw up their AI, and they'll be like facing a different direction and stuff like that, which is not what I want to happen. I want a battering ram, absolutely. I'm gonna need a lot of these guys probably. I'm gonna have to like buy a lot of these guys. So I can put one like right there. And then I want some support as well, for sure. At least 1 bone puppeteer. Bone puppeteers I think are pretty crucial in these smaller groups because let's see if I can make sure this is working. Alright. Because you're gonna take little bits of trap damage on your creatures. Like this ballista is going to go off and the person's going to be kiting around and the smelly warrior is going to be following and he'll get hit by the ballista shot, and then you have this puppeteer on medic just to top everything off, as well as if they try to volley like these 3 creatures and he gets 1 heal tick off, it's going to save all of their lives. Usually they'll survive a volley anyway, but it'll help out a lot. So I like the idea of having a medic here, and I could even throw like a bone puppeteer in His is actually 15 out of 28. Not a Bone Puppeteer, a Defendatron to have an AoE to help tank for stuff, but I'm not sure that that's really necessary. It might be. We'll see. Alright, so I could also have a Dampener back here. I kind of... I don't know. See, let me look at this. So, I have a feeling this guy will be able to aggro himself. So what I could do is actually make these guys not aggro anything. Because if you do this, like, let me just say, like, if I have this aggro circle on this battering ram, like this, if it'll work. There we go. For some reason it's messing up, but there we go. Alright, and see how this dampener isn't going to be aggroed by this smelly warrior, because he's just slightly too far away. And I might be able to get it so that he gets aggroed, but let's just say that I can't. But I have the battering ram here that's able to aggro this, to help this this dampener get aggroed, right? So what's going to happen is the attacker's going to come in, he's going to get flipped, and as soon as he hits this blue right here, it's going to aggro these mobs. And then after they're already aggroed, when this guy actually sees the hero, it's going to ignore his circle. So what I can do is move this guy's out of the way so he doesn't aggro the battering ram himself. Then the battering ram, as he gets thrown, will be able to see the attacker himself and aggro the rest of this group. So you kind of have to add it all together. You know, I'm up at 19 right now, 8 plus 11. So that's how that all works. I could do other things in this room, but I want to keep this room a little bit lighter than normal. Like, I mean, I could do crazy things like a Pete Poundmore or another battering ram, or even like an not an IMAX, but a Stairmaster would be okay in here. Hungerbots are pretty good with these type of groups. Hungerbot actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. Could put one of those in. I want to have him on Pinball though. I think that's better. You stun them, and then it allows like the battering ram to be able to hit, and then after those two hit, you know, you can have the smelly warriors hit, and it just adds on to help out the traps and stuff like that in the room. All right, so maybe this group could work by itself. I'm gonna test it out. Smelly warriors are actually very strong right now. Like, surprisingly strong. If you use them well, they do around 700 damage a hit, which is very high for a 4-point cost unit. Alright, so I think everything aggroed the way I wanted it to. You can see that was one smelly warrior hit, that big chunk of damage. It's crazy high amounts of damage. We got that. Is the dampener? Yeah, the dampener is aggroed as well. So it looks like everything aggroed properly. Let's volley everything. Mostly the smelly warriors, you can see they're topped off because of that puppeteer. And this is all working out about how I want it to. Did the battering ram die? No, the battering ram's still alive as well. Everything survived through a volley, even the puppeteer. So that's good. Obviously, I wasn't trying to kill it, I was just seeing if everything was working properly. It looks like it was working about the way I wanted it to. So for right now, I'm going to leave this group. If I have a few extra points at the end, I can add this on. You know, I have, what, 8 more? That's math at like 2 in the morning. We're not even going to try it. I know it's within the soft cap right now, so that's fine. This room is where we start to get into the fun. I realize I said the entire room, but this room, this part right here, this segment, is probably going to be the most fun to build, for me at least. Let's see if I can get it the way that I had it before. So I want to throw in the traps back here because everything, this entire segment of the room is all going to work together. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I definitely want to test this out. So I had something like this going on. And I had a snotter right here. And if you guys notice, I didn't actually remove this, but this snotter right here is still here. And what I'm going to try to do is something kind of old school. If you look at this snotter, he can't be skipped. He's touching this wall, all that, that's good. And we gotta move this one back somewhere in this area here. Alright. Now, we're gonna do a pull through the wall, which isn't really something that's been done since Open Creation came out. Hardly ever. A few people were trying it. It didn't really work because the aggro circles are very small compared to what they used to be. But I have a feeling that this room itself could actually make this work decently well. And it's difficult for creatures like this to cross over spike traps, which is going to be the main problem of this room. However, they can walk over it. With this one, basically what happens is they have to wait for this circle to become, this square right here, to become empty. It can't be it can't be like using its spike, and as it comes around, they're going to walk on this one, then they'll walk on this one. And they will actually get across here. And what's good about this is that a lot of the time, someone's going to come in, and they're going to aggro the Snotter right here, which will aggro this group, which gives it more time to walk around and actually come through. And they're going to get surprised because they're going to be in here and they're going to be like coming around. They're going to kill off the Snotter and be like, okay, why is there a random Snotter in here? Because no one uses pulls through the wall anymore. And then they're going to come and they're going to be starting to time out this this spike trap. Like, okay, I'm getting ready to walk on it. And as soon as they're ready to walk on it, there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 Smelly Warriors, a Battering Ram, and a bunch of other stuff coming across here and attacking them, which should work out pretty decently, I hope. I want at least like 1 or 2 more of these in that room just to keep people's eyes on other things other than this pull over here. Okay, I need another Battering Ram. I don't have any more in my inventory. So let's find them. I always have problems finding creatures, I don't know why. What I can do is just kind of do this. I have plenty of life force. And just... there, now I have plenty of Battering Rams, I don't have to buy anymore. Alright. Do I want the Battering Ram to come first or the Smelly Warrior? Smelly Warrior. Two Smelly Warriors, because they're probably OP right now. For 4 points, doing 700 damage seems really good. And then we want those to be facing forward. We want our Puppeteer be facing backwards, and we want our Dampener to be facing backwards. The Puppeteer and Dampener might not actually be necessary in this group, because they might not actually make it over this trap. Supports tend to, especially Puppeteers, because they have such low life, tend to not try to get over it, whereas this has 2,000 life, so it can take a tick of damage, and I guess that's it incorporated into the game. That's what it seems like. I have 8 more points. How much is a Webmaster? That seems pretty good. I don't know if I can actually get this in the aggro circle, though. That's going to be the only problem. Let's see. What if I move this back 1 sec? Is that going to still be inside? Yeah, it will. And then we can move this back and this back. The Webmaster right there. That seems pretty good. So I want to test this out, obviously. I tested it out with like 4 Smelly Warriors and it worked okay. I want to see what happens with this Elite because he might block these guys too much. And just for some reason, in case it doesn't work, I just want to make sure that this is all aggroed by that, but it should work fine. Alright, let's test it. I should be working back to front so that I don't have to go through this every time I test. That's something that I used to do, and for some reason I'm not doing right now, but that's fine. And these circles are just so annoying. I hope they fix that sometime soon. Yeah, that works out pretty good. Oh, I don't have Caltrops right now. My bad. I have this because I was trying to do that time attack challenge or whatever that they came out with. Just wanted to test it. But yeah, I need to kill off the supports. This group is pretty nice. I like it. Even if it doesn't do anything other than just waste time while there's traps hitting you, it's pretty good. Obviously people are going to do different things than this. They won't all fight it in this room. Some will go forward, some will go backwards. But it seems pretty good. Alright, and then we're going to keep going. That aggro's... So see, you can kind of tell that this guy's coming a little bit first, which might not be worth it. Let's see what happens if I remove this guy, I think. Alright, yeah, there's a lot of stuff getting stuck over there, and I don't want that to happen. That wasn't happening before, so I think this Webmaster is a little bit too big, possibly. So let's remove this, get these guys a little closer. I could add in like another smelly warrior if I wanted to, an archer, you know, stairmaster, anything like that would be fine. Right now I'm going to try this and just make sure that everything comes across like I want it to. We'll probably finish up this room and then I will take a break and finish up the castle in the next video, like I normally do. Oh, this is gonna hurt. These two smelly warriors take half my hit points. Okay. Yeah, see, like I'm not able to skip it because once I hit here, it's gonna aggro. Which is fine. So one of them crossed, another crosses. The battering ram's actually getting stuck on the supports, which I don't understand really. The Smelly Warriors made it across okay, and I want this battering ram to make it across because him actually going across the spike trap and taking 1 tick of damage is going to enrage him, which makes it even better. Like, this worked fine up until the battering ram. That's really the only thing that's giving me a problem right now. So this is going to take a little minor tweaking, to be honest. Like, I can move this puppeteer back here, which will slow it down a little bit, and then move the dampener over, which will also slow it down. And if I have to, I could put the battering ram up here, and that might even make it a little bit quicker as well. Do something like that. Let's see, can I move him 1 hex back? Alright, that should work. I'll test it again when I finish up this room. But with this one, I want to have another pull. And I can even have these guys in here. I'm pretty sure this will work. I can have these guys in the aggro circle, it doesn't matter, because once they kill off this, like they're not going to be standing here anymore, so it won't matter what this guy aggros, as long as there's a group in here for him to aggro, which is what the idea is. Now, obviously, they'll be able to like come across this way. Some people might do that, but others might not. I don't know. With these mouse wheels, I guess they might actually do that. Let me see what I could do. I don't think turning it's going to make it skippable. Yeah. I have to keep it up like this. I'll just have one group, one of my creatures facing forward, and it won't be that big of a deal, I don't think. Alright, so Smelly Warrior facing upwards like this. And then he can have an aggro range back here to aggro anything behind him. Same basic thing. I could put in a Stairmaster for this one. It would actually be pretty good. On Ominous Orb, I'm pretty sure would be, yeah, that's probably the best. Alright, so this gets a little bit weird because I have so many extra units. I have to do math to be able to figure out how many units I can actually have. Or I can just like move it over. Right now I'm at 10. A dampener for sure. I have to also make sure that he's not aggroing this group. Okay, that's fine. But this guy is. Alright, battering ram. This gets a little bit more sloppy, to be honest. I might not use this exactly like this. I could even have another Snotter, to be honest. Like, it's not that big of a deal to have 1 extra point here, facing up like this. And then I can pull this back like that. I'm not sure. This might not work the way I want it to. I might only be able to use this one group here, and then have a second group, like, maybe here, or just remove these or anything like that. I'll have to test this out, watch some replays to be able to figure out how this is exactly working. Yeah. So what's this leaving? Okay, so these 4 units. We're at 18. I shouldn't really even run into any problems in terms of how much I can pull. Is it gonna fit inside of it? Yeah, it'll just fit inside of this one's though. I don't think so. This guy is actually gonna get aggroed 100% of the time, I'm pretty sure. That's fine, I can leave him in. I could even upgrade my Snotters, why not? Okay, and then I don't have a puppeteer for this group. Do I need one? It's not bad. Fit one in right there. That aggro's everything. That aggro's not quite everything, but I don't think that's a big deal. Alright, try something like that. Do I have any points? I do. I need more trap pressure in this room, I think. One more ballista like there. Actually, up here is probably better. Okay. Yeah, so this is some crazy pulls. Like, there's a lot of units that are going to get pulled into these two rooms, which is why I want to make these rooms as heavy on traps as possible. Ballista here. Ballista here. Is that not going to get powered? It's not going to get powered. Let's see. There, that'll work. This is a little out of position. But I really don't care if this room is the best positioned. I could also move this like right here, which will help this area. And then I can move it back. Might be better. Because I just want to make it so that if they tend to pull, like, I don't know, if someone tries to fight inside of this room, I want to have at least a little bit of pressure in here. Like I said, there should be no area in your castle once you start it that there's at least one trap player on you at the entire time until you get to the end, and maybe you could leave your boss room empty. Because a lot of people aren't just going to skip things and go to the boss room hoping that it's empty, you know? So this seems good so far. We're about halfway through my defense points. So I think this room is about the way I want it. I'm going to have to do a little bit of tweaking, obviously. I'm going to have to test and see which way I want things facing. All that stuff matters a lot when you have groups like this, because you don't want them to get their AI hung up on each other. So make sure everything pulls the way I want it to and all of that sort of thing. But I want to try this out. It might be really bad, and I might have to gut it and, you know, replace it with something else. I think the groups will work. I just don't know how these pulls are going to work. I hope that they work well, but I don't know. We'll see how it works. But I think I'm gonna take a break and finish up this room, and then I'll probably have to add on one more room. It might be a similar room to this, and then I'll put in like a Pete Poundmore at the end, since that's a pretty high damage dealing room as well. This room is going to be a standard spike tunnel with a few groups inside of it, similar to these, because I think Smelly Warriors are actually one of the better units in the game right now. If you can use them in a way that like if you look at this room, this is the area they have to maneuver around. So, you know, there's going to be a bunch of traps firing on them and 2 Smelly Warriors, and then obviously the rest of it is there as well. If they take a hit from a Smelly Warrior, this group almost pays for itself, because that's a lot of damage. 700 damage is pretty high. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're going to take a break, and then I will jump back in and finish up this castle. If I have some time, I might try to validate it as well on stream, but we have already seen how that goes. Sometimes I am not able to validate my own castles when I'm talking about it. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow for the rest of this castle building series.